Hey, what's up? It's Tati and I'm back with another review of AEW Rampage. We started the night off with the Trios Championship match since we have not seen the Elite actually defend these titles since they won it from Death Triangle. Concluding that best of 7 series bullshit thing that they had going on, and now we finally get to see them. We did have the Bucks doing tag team action. However, Kenny Omega been having issues with his visa, so he has not been able to compete. So now we got all three of them in the ring against the Firm. So we knew it wasn't going to change hands, especially since we got a much anticipated match against AR Fox and Top Flight coming up on Dynamite next week. So we already knew that wasn't going to happen. So this was just basically a match so that the Elite can be doing something, since they haven't really been doing anything, at least not as trios champions. Now this was a great match, a nice fun way to start off the show. It did start off a little bit on the slower side, but obviously with these guys the intensity did pick up towards the middle of the match. We did have Ethan Page, who was doing that same little bullshit that he's been doing, where Isaiah and Matt Hardy are pretty much doing all the work, and he'll just tag himself in whenever he felt like he can go for a cover, or he might be able to pick up the win for the team. That obviously did not happen, but while I felt like that has been like a huge negative distraction in other matches, it didn't really bother me with this match, since everyone really seemed to be involved. I really like how Isaiah Cassidy is, he can be a great singles competitor. I know right now Mark Quinn, he's out on injury, so he's doing stuff with Matt Hardy and Ethan Page, but I do think him alone will be great. Also Ethan Page as well, I do think someone like him could benefit being a singles competitor. But everyone did really great in this match. Now they came to a point where Ethan got hurt or whatever, and he's outside the ring, like towards the ramp, and Matt Hardy is there trying to make sure he's okay. That basically left Isaiah Cassidy alone in the ring, and obviously the Elite took advantage of that. There was nothing that he could really do. After Kenny Omega hits a one-winged angel, then we have the BTE trigger after that, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. This was actually a really great match, but I am just like so excited for Dynamite, because I really want to see how Top Flight and AR Fox do against the Elite. To be completely honest, they are not winning it, but I still think we can benefit from seeing a really great match with these three. Up next was Swerve Strickland versus Brian Pillman Jr. And you know what? I like this match. It would have been a little bit better if we had less interference. Now Swerve has basically vowed to take down any second or third generation wrestlers, so Brian Pillman Jr. is definitely on his list. So this match was actually great. You already know Swerve has that cocky attitude, that overly confident swag about him, and we also kind of see a little bit of that with Brian as well during this match. And we had the Mogul affiliates ringside, and to me, we already knew what was going to happen. They were going to get involved in some way, but this was actually a really great match between these two. I do feel like before the commercial, Brian pretty much was having upper hand in this match, and once we get back from commercial, then we have Swerve, who pretty much was in control. Now we had a part in this match where the referee is being distracted. What's the other guy? It's Parker and somebody else, can't remember his name. He's distracting the ref, just talking, not doing anything else. And then we have Parker Boudreaux, who basically takes advantage of the referee being distracted, and that obviously puts an advantage for Swerve to win this match. Now Swerve ends up winning, and then right after that they're going to attack Brian Pillman Jr., and that's when Dustin Rhodes come out to help Brian, he comes out with a whole turnbuckle in his hand, and he is ready to fight. So will we see some kind of tag team action coming up with these guys? I have no idea, to be completely honest. I don't even know where they're going with this. We haven't seen Parker doing any matches since he left the, what they call, Trust Busters or whatever. He hasn't actually been in any matches since then. So since he's been part of the Mogul Affiliates, we haven't really seen all three of these together. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a trios thing, but I guess not. I don't know where they're going with this, but it was what it was. The match itself I did enjoy. Without the interruption, I think it would have been a little bit better than what it was. I'm not really interested to see where they're going with the Mogul Affiliates. Next match of the night was Saraya and Toni Storm versus the Renegade Twins. I don't know if you've ever seen the Renegade Twins, but they're often on Dark or Elevation, so I've definitely seen them in the ring. So we already knew that Saraya and Toni Storm was going to pick up this win. So at first I was like, this is probably not going to be that interesting. But, you know, the Renegade Twins, they basically was just surviving, hardly fighting, to be completely honest with you. One of the twins was actually in this match for like 90% of the match. And, you know, it was back and forth between Saraya and Toni Storm getting into the ring. Saraya actually did pretty well to me. I guess she's really finding her groove into the ring, but ultimately I just feel like the match wasn't really all that. It was just pretty much them just showcasing what they got while the Renegade Twins were getting their ass handed to them. So one of the twins, like I said, was in there for 90% of the match. She finally got a chance to tag her sister. However, her sister wasn't in that match long enough. Saraya and Toni Storm ended up picking up this win. And then when they were done, they spray painted the words, the letter L on their stomach, L for loser. And that was pretty much it. To be honest, I didn't really like it. The storyline, I've said it a million times, it is not catching me at all. We'll see where to go with this, but definitely want to see much more better things going on with the women's division right now. I'm not feeling it. So now on to the main event, which was Rush versus Christopher Daniels. Now, I was looking forward to this match until the match actually happened. So these two, they both have been former ROH World Champions. So we've been seeing a little bit of both of these competitors as of late. However, Christopher Daniels seemed to be more on a losing streak. So next week we do have Rush versus Bryan Danielson. So I really felt like, if anything, they were going to have Rush come in strong, coming into Dynamite against Bryan. So I was expecting Rush to win. However, these two are really, really great competitors. So I expected to see a really great matchup between the two. And I'm going to say this. Now, while I believe heels are awesome and heels have more fun, I just feel like the interruptions are taking away some really top quality matches. These two would have been able to put on a hell of a main event if we didn't have any interruption from either Jose or Preston. And I just feel like sometimes it's just not needed, especially since we already had that happen earlier on in the night with the Mogul Affiliates with Swerve. It just didn't feel needed. Now, we do know that they have a reputation of, you know, getting involved in each other's matches, you know, LFI or whatnot. However, I just felt like it took away from a really great match. We did have a lot of great moments in this match, but overall, the interference was just way too much. We even had Preston and Jose. They had the money from the briefcase that what's his name, MJF had gave to them on Dynamite. They were slapping Christopher with the cash. They were throwing money around. Like, the interference just was too much, and at times didn't really make sense. It's like, I get it, but I just feel like the way they did it was just didn't really work out, and sometimes you'll just benefit from not having these distractions. So AEW, they need to get it together, especially when they've already played with that card of, you know, having factions getting involved in an earlier match. It's not needed later on. So I do feel like we were robbed from a really great matchup. Too much interference, too much for me to enjoy. However, Roosh did end up picking up this win, and I just wish that they'll just tone it down a bit with the interference. So I am excited for AEW Dynamite next week. Tony Khan is putting these champions to work next week, which I love to see. So we have the AEW tag team titles on the line next week. The Acclaim versus the Guns. I do think that the Acclaim will end up winning, and I'm thinking that Daddy Ass might get involved with some type of way where it might have a issue, where there might be an issue between the friendship with him and the Acclaim. Also, we have the trios titles on the line against the Elite and AR Fox and Top Flight. Oh my god, this one is what I'm really having high hopes for. They're probably going to open up the show with this match. We already know the Elite's going to end up winning, but I do think that this is going to be probably the match of the night. We also have the AEW Women's Eliminator match. So this is Jamie Hayter versus the Bunny, and then we have MJF versus Konosuke Takeshita. While this is an eliminator match as well, I really do hope to see Takeshita win this. If he wins, he doesn't, you know, get the title, but he gets a title shot later on in the future. So for storyline purposes, it could go either way, but I would really love to see Takeshita get an upper hand. He's amazing in the ring, and he deserves this type of opportunity. And also, we do have Bryan Danielson versus Roosh as well. Bryan, I mean, I hope he's doing much better than last week, and I'm pretty sure he's going to end up winning that match as well. And then we also have a gauntlet match with Ricky Starks versus members of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't really know how that's going to go. I expect there to be some interference as well. If Ricky wins this one, well, that would be great. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it all the way towards the end, so who knows. I'm not really interested in this match. It seemed like something that it just threw on together. I'm over the storyline with the Jericho Appreciation Society, but either way, I do expect a really great show. So I will be back on Wednesday with my review of Dynamite. Thank you for watching.